All right, hello, language learners, and welcome. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here with us today. If you're focused, ready to learn, and really looking to take your Spanish to the next level, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today's explainer is all about unlocking a very specific, incredibly powerful grammatical tool. It's called the Pretérito Pluscuamperfecto, or in English, the past perfect tense. I know, it sounds like a massive mouthful, but I promise you, by the time we wrap up today, you're going to be using it like an absolute pro to tell much richer, far more complex stories. So let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Consider this sentence for a second. Ellos nunca habían salido de Cuba. Translated, that means they had never left Cuba. Now, this little sentence is just a fantastic mystery hook. It immediately makes us stop and ask, wait, when exactly did this happen? Before what? You see, the phrase habían salido is our target tense today. It essentially acts like a grammar time machine. It takes us back to a specific point in the past, and then, boom, it takes us even further back to something that happened before that. It is literally the key to adding sequence and credible depth to your storytelling in Spanish.
So here's our quick roadmap for today. Number 1, Laura y Juan en Argentina. 2, formando el pluscuamperfecto. 3, el pasado del pasado. 4, explicando tareas no terminadas. 5, expresando gran asombro. And 6, a quick resumen y práctica.
Sección 1. Laura y Juan en Argentina, el viaje de sus vidas.
To really wrap our heads around how this works, let's look at a story about our friends Laura and Juan. They decided to take the absolute trip of a lifetime last summer. Their destination, Argentina. Their big goal was to learn all about the country, experience the culture firsthand, and really dive deep into the world of the Argentine tango. Now, you gotta understand, this trip was a massive deal for them. According to our source material, because of a lack of time and money, they had never left Cuba before this trip. And right there's our target grammar. Before the summer trip, which remember is already in the past, there was an entire lifetime where they had not traveled abroad. So we're looking at an action that completely predates another past event. This right here is the natural habitat of the past perfect tense.
Section 2. Formando el pluscuamperfecto. The formula. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how simple the underlying grammar logic actually is. Seriously, it's basically just like building with Lego blocks. You take a helper verb and you snap your main action verb right on top of it. So the first block is your auxiliary verb, haber, which means to have. And we conjugate that into the imperfect tense, so you get había, habías, había, habíamos, and habían. And hey, make sure to notice that beautiful accent mark on the I all the way down the board. Then your second block is the past participle of your main verb. For verbs ending in IR, like amar, meaning to love, you just drop that AR and add auto to get amado. For your ER and IR verbs like temer, to fear, or partir, to leave, you gap the ending and add ido, giving you temido or partido. Combine the two blocks and boom, you get yo había amado, for I had loved, or nosotros habíamos partido, for we had left. It's structured, it's simple, and it works every single time. Section 3. El pasado del pasado. Actions prior to other actions. Let's visually map out Laura and Juan's travel timeline here. This is going to really ground this kind of abstract idea into a concrete, easy-to-understand reality. So look at the middle of the timeline. On July 10th, they left for Jose Marti Airport, right? That is a fully completed action in the past. But if we jump backward to July 1st, they had already organized everything. In Spanish, ya lo tenían todo organizado, or using our new tense, ya habían organizado todo. The organizing happened before the leaving. Then, let's jump forward a bit to July 15th. They're at this massive tango festival in the center of Buenos Aires. Before this specific past event on the 15th, they had never seen professional tango dancers. Nunca habían visto profesionales del tango. The past perfect beautifully sequences these events for whoever you're talking to. It makes the timeline crystal clear without you having to awkwardly say, oh, and then before that, this other thing happened. The verb tense is literally doing all the heavy lifting for you. Section 4. Explaining tareas no terminadas. Giving reasons. Let's move to and see how this builds into our next scenario. You see, the past perfect isn't just reserved for epic travel timelines. It's incredibly practical for everyday life, especially when you need to explain why something didn't quite get done. It's basically the ultimate tense for giving reasons or, let's be honest, making excuses. Imagine a super relatable conversational scenario. A friend comes up to you and asks, ¿Viste anoche la película? Did you watch the movie last night?
They're asking about a completed action in the past, but unfortunately you didn't actually get to see it. Why? Well, you need to explain the sequence of events that ruined your movie night. And this is exactly where you deploy the past perfect. You answer, no, cuando llegué, ya se había acabado. No, when I arrived, it had already finished. Just look at how beautifully that works in practice. Your arrival is the past reference point, llegué, but the movie finishing, se había acabado, happened before you even walked through the door. The movie finishing is the past before the past, and it perfectly supplies the reason why your task of watching the movie wasn't completed. It's polite, it's clear, and it uses our Haber plus participle formula without a hitch.
Sección 5. Expresando gran asombro. ¡Qué sorpresa!
Honestly, guys, this might just be my absolute favorite use case because it lets you inject so much raw emotion into your Spanish. We use the Pretérito Pluscuamperfecto to express sheer, unadulterated amazement. Just listen to the emotional weight of this sentence from the text. Nunca había estado en un hospital tan grande. I had never been in such a large hospital. You use this when you encounter something so surprisingly big or new or impressive that you just have to emphasize that up until this exact moment in your life, you had never experienced anything quite like it. That past perfect phrase, había estado, stretches all the way back from the day you were born, right up to that precise moment of surprise. Here's another incredibly dramatic example straight from our source material. Jamás en mi vida había tenido una enfermedad tan terrible. Never in my life had I had such a terrible illness. Notice the intense vocabulary paired with the tense here, nunca for never, and jamás en mi vida for never in my life. By pairing these absolute, extreme words with the past perfect, you are drawing a bold line in the sand of your own timeline. You're telling your listener that until that specific past moment, an experience that intense simply didn't exist for you. It's just a fantastic way to convey absolute shock and amazement.
Section 6. Resumen y práctica. Our conclusion. And just like that, we have navigated through both the mechanics and the magic of the Pretérito Pluscuamperfecto. You saw it in action with Laura and Juan's big trip, you learned the building block formula, and you explored the 3 highly practical ways to use it in real conversations. Let's do a really quick wrap-up to make sure this knowledge is locked in. So the crucial point of this, whenever you need to talk about the past of the past, you grab your auxiliary verb haber in the imperfect, había, habías, había, habíamos, habían, and you attach your past participle ending in ado or ido. And remember your 3 main triggers. Number 1, sequencing 2 past events, like organizing before traveling. Number 2, giving a reason why you missed out on something, like arriving after the movie had already ended. And number 3, expressing pure amazement that you had never seen or experienced something quite like this before in your entire life. Now, it's your turn to put all of this into practice. I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative question to test your new skills out. ¿Qué acción del pasado antes de tu pasado recuerdas hoy? What action from the past before your past do you remember today? I want you to think of an amazing moment in your own life and try constructing a Spanish sentence about what you had never done before that very moment. Let me know your examples down below. Don't forget to like the video and leave a comment. Keep practicing, stay focused, and I will see you in the next explainer.